Hey guys, been a while since I did a on face video. I'm sure you already are wondering, hey, what's up here? We came for an audio chapter so we could roast Mataris. Uh, my audience members know which one of them I'm pointing at. You know who you are. Um, but I'm not going to be releasing an audio chapter for Pokemon Warpath this week as much as I would love to. Um, a couple of things have come up. And I'll preface this by saying this is in no way I'm feeling burnout. I just can't keep it up with. No, I feel great about these projects. I'm still enjoying working on them. I've been working on Your Hero Academia for half a decade at this point, essentially. And I'm very proud of the fact that I have been able to keep that content coming out continuously on a bi-weekly or now a once a month basis, but still bi-weekly with the introduction of Pokemon Warpath. That to be said, this is not a project where I just sit down like for a couple hours a day, a couple hours in a week, and just pop out a video for you guys. I'm like, I have to write the chapter, I have to do the audio, I have to do the mixing for that, I have to put the editing together. All that takes time. And right now, for the next month at least, I'm at a point in my life, as is my wife, where we need to prioritize our time a little bit differently. And I say this because basically on top of these projects that we've been doing, plus our own jobs, she and I both work full-time jobs. She has been doing studies and putting in a bunch of work to basically get an equivalent of a master's degree for teachers is what's happening there. So she's putting in more hours than there are in the day to make this happen. She's awesome. She's amazing. She does all that, and she's been helping with the show. Which again, we do on a bi-weekly basis. And then very big thing for me. If you've been listening to my podcast or to my stories for any length of time, you know that I'm a martial artist. I have been since I was 6 years old. But finally for me, in a couple of weeks, I'm going to be flying out to Sarasota, Florida, where I'm going to be testing in front of a panel of Kempo Grandmasters to be going for my Kempo black belt in karate. Which is a huge thing for me. I've literally been working toward this for more than 20 years. There's a lot that goes into it. I have to study all the techniques that my dojo practices. I have to create my own techniques. I have to string them together to make a functioning kata. I have to not only do I have to show that I can perform it, I have to show that I'm able to teach it to another person. And there's a whole lot of stuff that goes into that. I've been doing all of that on top of the usual story stuff. And as the due dates for these tests of my wife and I as they approach, we're really feeling the need to double down and kind of get in that crunch study. I'm sure those of you who have been in university or even high school know what I'm talking about. But like I said, time management is most of the factor here. I'm not feeling burnt out. I'm not at a point where I'm like, I'm almost dreading like coming up with the next chapter. Like, what do I do to just make sure that this next point of the story gets to something that I'm kind of excited about? No, I'm very excited for what's coming in Pokemon Warpath. I'm way more excited for Your Hero Academia, the arc that's coming up. Admittedly, like, that's not to say that I'm having less fun with Pokemon Warpath than I am with Your Hero Academia. Just certain things are coming where I'm like, I honestly like have been wrestling with myself for a couple of days. I'm like, do I even delay this for a month? Because I'm just so excited for some stuff that's happening, but I need to manage my time better. I need to put in the effort that is necessary to achieve my goals. And I love doing this. I love doing the show. But I have been working toward, I can't. How do I point over my shoulder? There we go. I've been working towards the stuff back there. Someday I'll point at it. I've been working toward that stuff for over 2 decades at this point. I've been a writer for, let's see, I've been writing in an amateur sense for about 15 years now. But as a martial artist, I've been practicing since I was 6. I've been doing that for well over 20 years at this point. So to have this approaching, this is going to be a really big thing for me. Not just as a martial artist, but as a person. And I want to give it nothing less than my best. So for that reason, I'm going on this month-long hiatus. I'll be back at the beginning of June. We'll have new podcasts ready for Your Hero Academia and for Pokemon Warpath. I really look forward to seeing what you guys have to say about them. And I'll miss you guys while I'm doing this. But again, the only other thing I could say is thank you guys so much for all your support over the years. Thank you for listening to our podcast, listening to the stories that I create. Thank you for giving us the feedback that we need to make the improvements to the stories and to the show itself. It means a lot to us, and I look forward to seeing you guys again in June. So stay plus ultra until the next month.